Welcome to Chasing Combat. I'll be going over who you should pick this weekend for UFC Allen versus Costa. I'll also be going over the best bets you can make this weekend. Last weekend we went 7 for 13. We had Strickland. We didn't get the KO though. I definitely should have played the decision. Waldo definitely did cost me. You'll see in the end of the video. Buckley got dominated. I don't know what to say. I thought he would actually go out there and kind of dominate, but hey, Sean Brady got my respect. Alvarez losing, that's a big loss. Carpenter losing, that sucks as well, but he just got outclassed. Gomez got outclassed. Tulio outclassed as well. Solid picks on my part, but also at the same time can't be making the mistake with choosing Gomez and Alvarez. But as you can see, the pick rate is going down. I have held a 65% pick rate and a 63% pick rate over the last 2 years. So 60% pick rate, same with the UFC, 60% pick rate. But we are in a downward spiral right now. Hopefully we can recover within the next couple cards. Shauna Bannon, Nicole Cagliari. This fight should be pretty evenly matched. Bannon 2-2 in the UFC. She's faced some solid opponents, but she hasn't faced too many very tough opponents. She versed Tumar, who she did get a crazy win. She got knocked down, snatched up, I believe, an armbar. But overall, Shauna Bannon, she's a striker. She's kind of has a karate style. She's very kick heavy. She's gonna always have her leg up, kind of coming at you like a karate style. If they were to do like 3-4 kicks in a row, that if you know what I mean. She's very kick heavy. Her punches don't have much power to them. Her strikes aren't very powerful, to be honest, except for maybe her kicks. She does have some sneaky submissions. If you underestimate her, she definitely will snatch up that sub. Her wrestling's okay. She can get up, but overall she will get pretty much dominated by any wrestler in the UFC. Cagliari, she is 0-2 in the UFC, but to be honest, that doesn't really reflect on how she's done in the UFC. Overall, I believe she lost to Carly Judas, who is, to be honest, one of the best strikers in that division. There will be a video that has her in it coming out next week. Cagliari, she's going to come and pressure Bannon. She's going to look for that takedown. She's most likely going to get that takedown, and eventually she's just going to snatch up that sub. I do have Cagliari by sub just because I think her forward pressure and overall her wrestling is going to lead to an either easy submission or an easy decision for her. Daniel Barez versus Luis Gurel. This fight should be pretty good. A lot of people are choosing Barez, which I think that is a big mistake. He's 1-2 in the UFC, likes to move around a lot. He has very fast striking, good time takedowns. Overall, I don't think he's UFC level though. I do think he is good. He's fast. His striking is good, but overall, with his IQ and just his overall game plan, I don't think he's going to find success in the UFC. I think he should be cut soon. If he loses to Gurel, I think he should be cut. Gurel, he's 0-3 in the UFC. He's had very, very tough fights. He's a very tough striker. You can't put him away very easily. He is a very slow starter, though. He takes a while to get going. Overall, round 2, 3 are definitely more of his rounds. Round 1 is him kind of feeling it out, finding his range, and trying to get comfortable in there. His wrestling's okay. It's not too bad, but he definitely does have solid wrestling. His record, like I said, definitely doesn't reflect on how he is, but overall he has had some pretty tough fights, and I do think he will be able to outlast Barez. Barez is kind of going to gas out his arms just by probably having a high pace. Gurel, he's going to eventually in round 2, 3 start to pick it up and eventually most likely get that KO. But I am going to play Luis Gurel by decision here, just due to Barez. He has only gone to decision. I believe he hasn't been finished. He is pretty tough, so he can stay in there, and I do think Gurel is tough enough to stay in there and win the last 2 rounds at least. Alice Ardeline versus Polyana Viana. This fight is pretty one-sided in my opinion. Polyana, 4-7 in the UFC. She's a submission specialist. Her striking isn't the best. She's always looking for that takedown. Last win was in 2022, which is kind of crazy. The last 3 fights she's been finished. Pretty much she only has good BJJ, and she will accept the takedown if you are to take her down. Ardeline, very solid striking. She will chuck the knucks with you if you want, but that's up to her opponent. She pushes a fast pace. She has solid wrestling, solid BJJ. overall, I do think she will get it done. Ardeline by KO is what I'm going with. I think she has a little too much power for Polyana to handle, and I think she's going to get the takedown, and she's just going to ground and pound Polyana out of there. Andre Petrosky, Cody Brundage. Petrosky is a can. This guy shouldn't even be in the UFC, to be honest. He is 8-4, so I guess that's probably why they're keeping him. But 2-fight losing streak, solid striking, lots of kicks, very chinny though. He got knocked out by going for a takedown and hitting his head off their hip. He also just got knocked out by, I believe, a very soft cross, or it might have even been a left hook. I'm not 100% sure, but it was a very weird combo in his last fight that just sat him down. It wasn't like he put everything into it. It was kind of, he just threw something out there, landed, and he went right down against Rouston. Overall, I do think he's solid, but he's nothing special. It's either he's going to keep it on the feet, somehow edge out a 29-28 split decision. But I do think Cody Brundage has not bad striking. He has a missile in his hand, though. So what I mean by that is if you let him connect with that right hand, or even his left, depending on which stance he's in, if he lands with full power, he is going to knock you out. Brundage is very tough. He's not going to give up easy. If you do finish him, that's a big accomplishment right there. Overall, I do think Brundage should get it done here. Brundage, better wrestler, better BJJ, better striking. I just think overall he's way better here. Brundage by KO. I'm assuming it's going to be round 2. I believe this fight will go round 2. Petrosky is going to get knocked out either first minute of round 1, or it's going to go round 2, early round 2. Petrosky is going to come into the round almost pretty much hurt, and then Brundage is going to set him down. Ketlin Vieira, Jacqueline Cavalcanti. So Ketlin, I'll be 100% transparent here. I've never been a big fan of Ketlin. She's 9-5 in the UFC. She has solid striking. She's pretty hesitant at times when she pushes. She'll kind of blitz in a little bit. She'll go into the pocket, and then she kind of just stands there. Sometimes she'll go in, throw a couple punches, or she just seems to go for a jab cross, but she hesitates and she just doesn't throw it. I think Cavalcanti will take advantage of that. Her strikes pretty much are mostly at the start of the round. If she's going to strike, it's going to be at the start up until about towards 2 minutes left to a minute and a half, where she will go for a takedown. She doesn't have a high output, but overall, I do think Cavalcanti is very technical, to the point where she will take advantage of Ketlin hesitating and coming in, not doing anything. She's going to just give her a right cross, earn that respect, and I believe Ketlin will be on the back foot here. I do think Cavalcanti will outstrike her pretty easily. Cavalcanti is probably one of the best prospects in that division right now. Overall, I think she's very good everywhere. Her takedown defense is very solid. You can hold her against the fence, but that's about it. You're not really going to take her down. If you do take her down, she's going to get right back up. She's heavy on the calf kick. She loves the leg kick. That's how she usually starts out. Always, usually with the calf kick. Then she'll start developing her jab and then her cross. Eventually, she might even try to clinch with you. It all depends what time in the round and overall her game plan. I have Cavalcanti by decision. I think this should be a pretty simple play here. This fight should go to decision. Cavalcanti, 5 wins, 5 decisions. It just makes sense. Tommy Gant, he is going up against Artur Minev, who is filling in on short notice because Trey Ogden had to pull out. I believe it was Trey Ogden pulled out due to an injury. Artur making his debut on 5 days notice. Stat padded resume. I suggest you either go to SureDog or Tapology right now. Look at his record. Click. Yes, he has beaten 2 guys with 20 plus wins, and they have a positive win-loss. But look at those guys again. One guy got turned into a boxer. He has 4 boxing fights within probably the last 2 years, maybe 1 or 2 MMA fights. He had 2 boxing fights, went back to MMA, got knocked out within the first 1 to 2 minutes by this guy, and then he went right back to boxing. I think this guy stat padded his resume. He does have solid power, solid striking. He does have some solid submissions as well. But overall, I don't think he's ready for the UFC. I think he's a little too stat padded. I don't think he has faced a guy who's going to give him problems like a Tommy Gant, who's an All-American wrestler. He had a big win on Dana White's Contender Series with a Gilly win. He's only really going to wrestle, which benefits Gant here. because Archer wants to strike. He wants to go for that KO. Gant, if he wrestles, just sticks to wrestling, he will have an easy win ahead of him. I do think his heavy takedown approach is a little boring, but overall he should do enough to get it done by decision or maybe even get a submission. But I will go Tommy Gant by sub. I will go round 2 because I do think Archer will gas out the longer the fight goes. Tuco Tokos versus Ivan Erslan. To be honest, if you are choosing Tuco, I don't even know, man. He is coming off a win against Tafa, but here's the thing, he sucks. He shouldn't even won that fight. Tafa should have finished him, but he didn't because Tafa is also bad. But Tuco's horrible. Ivan also horrible, but his striking's better, his power's better. To be honest, pretty much everything's better, maybe except for the wrestling where Tuco definitely holds that advantage. Tuco trains with a lot of really good guys, but he just doesn't seem to translate. It doesn't seem that his skill translates from the gym to the octagon. He just seems pretty much like a punching bag. Once he starts getting punched, he doesn't really throw much, and you're just going to beat him up for, the rest of the round until you finish him. I have Ivan Erslan by KO. I do think it will be in the first round, because if Tukos is getting knocked out, it will be in the first round. If it's not, then it should be Ivan Erslan by decision. Kolev Vernatenikov, 2-3 in the UFC. He's pretty tough. He did take Michael Morales to decision. Little fact right there for you. He has good techno striking, okay takedown defense. He's a turtle. If you don't know what I mean by that, once you take him down, he's laying on his back. He's not really doing much. He's just going to lay there. Chaos Williams, 6-4 in the UFC. He is coming off a crazy fight against Gustafsson, I believe is how you say his name. The Viking guy has a whole bunch of weird tattoos. Overall, Chaos has some good clinch work, but overall his striking does need some work. He kind of relies on his power a little too much, but here's the thing. His gas tank is pretty bad. After round 1, he gasses pretty easily if you're willing to strike with him, unless he's taking a more patient approach, but he usually likes to go his balls to the walls. Williams, he's always looking to throw heavy. No matter what, he's always throwing heavy. Usually doesn't really throw like a soft jab or just to land a jab. He's throwing with power. Does leave himself exposed though. Due to him throwing big heavy shots, he's going to throw some big wild overhands. That means his hands aren't by his chin. You can either right cross right down the pipe, or a nice right hook, or depending if they're a southpaw, maybe a left hook, who knows. But he definitely leaves his chin a little open too much. But pick will be Nikolay Vernatenikov by KO. I do think Williams leaves his chin open too much, like I just said, and I think he will find his chin just because he is a sniper. Timmy Kumba versus Bernardo Sopa. I will be 100% transparent here as well. Bernardo Sopa will be in a video coming up, probably next week. He is one of my personal favorite prospects. Timmy's good, but I just don't see much on him. He's usually on the back foot. He has solid power, solid BJJ. He's very well-rounded. His striking's pretty good, but overall, I do think he can be controlled on the ground pretty easily. If Sopa strikes with him and then goes for a takedown, I think he will win this pretty easily. Timmy won his last fight due to Lee only going for takedowns. He didn't really want to strike with him, and when he did strike with him, Timmy really established himself there. Timmy established himself on the feet. Lee only really established his wrestling. If he got his striking going before, I do think that fight would have went a little differently. But since he only went really wrestling, and that's the only thing that was in his mind, I think Bernardo has the advantage here. Because I think Bernardo, his striking is very good. His wrestling is good as well. If he puts it all together, I don't think Timmy has a chance, and I think Sopa gets where he should be in 2-1. Should be 2-0, but also you have to give it to Vinicius Oliveira for that knockout. But he will be 2-1 after this weekend. You can fade this pick. I am pretty biased on this, but I do have Bernardo Sopa by KO. I just think Timmy's striking is just a little bit, it's a step behind. Bukakis versus Christian Edwards. I'll be very quick with this because no one really knows who Christian Edwards is. Bukakis coming off a bad KO loss where he got finished within the final seconds. Not the best fight IQ. He's very brain dead, to be honest. He's just pressuring you the whole time. Not really setting up his KO shots. He run right at you, throwing, he'll start with his jab, run with his cross, and then he's going to end either with a hook or like just a wild left hand. He's a very weird style. He's pretty much like Ngannou, but a kickboxer with actual technique, except he doesn't KO people a lot. Overall, I do think Christian Edwards has a chance here, but here's the thing. He's 8-4, has been knocked out. and it is on short notice as well. Bellato, who beat Luke Fernandez, who whooped on Edwards. Bellato was supposed to be in Edwards' place, but Edwards is taking his place. So we'll see how the MMA math works here. Does train out of Jackson Wink, John Jones's gym. I don't think he's too UFC ready just yet. He's 8-4, 50% win rate. It's good, but 8-4 going pro for your first time against a guy, step up in competition, at least pro-wise. Going against a guy who's 19-7, I don't think is going to go very well for him. Caucus by murder is the pick. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Juan Diaz. Wellmaker coming off a loss. Here's the thing. I don't think he did too bad because Ewing definitely is the overall better fighter. I do think if you gave Wellmaker a full camp and time to study Ewing, he wins that. Just because I think his IQ is good enough to where when he is in camp and he can actually start setting up combos, setting up takedowns, setting up whatever, and start actually knowing what the other guy does, I think he has a way better chance. Overall, his striking has improved just by training. I've seen a couple of videos of his training. It definitely does look like it has improved, but we will see in the octagon if it actually has improved. He has crazy KO power, solid movement, gets a little reckless, throws the same combo almost every time. But like I said, he did switch striking coaches, so who knows, he might be a little less reckless and a more technical, more of a technical power puncher. Overall, he's going to be very hungry to get back in the win column. Juan Diaz, UFC debut, crazy KO on Dana White's Contender Series. He has good striking, good power, solid wrestling. He is very tough, and he's always dangerous. Never count out Juan Diaz. Yes, Malcolm Wellmaker is most likely probably the better guy, but Diaz has some really good striking. Couldn't be compared to Wellmaker's. I would say it's a little better, at least from what we've seen as in fights. Just what I mean by that is Diaz on Dana White's Contender Series, his striking looked really good. Wellmaker, his last fight, his striking didn't look too good. So just if you go off that, Diaz has the better striking, but I do have faith that Wellmaker did improve his striking a lot. He has been out for close to a year, so there's no way he definitely hasn't improved that. If he hasn't, I probably got to jump ship. But I do have Malcolm Wellmaker by murder. I do think he is very motivated, and I do think Juan Diaz is good, but I do think he's just gonna get unlucky. He's gonna get caught just perfectly, and Wellmaker is just gonna give him 3 to 5 punches on the ground, and the ref's gonna call it. Duho Choi, Daniel, Willie Cat Santos. Duho Choi, 5-3-1 in the UFC, 2-fight win streak, 2-fight KO streak. He's a fast striker, very explosive. He does mainly want to strike. He will wrestle if he has to. He will show off his wrestling. Overall, he has some solid wrestling. He can hold his own on the ground, but his BJJ does kind of lack compared to Santos. Santos, 4-1 in the UFC. He did just come off a crazy KO win against that cocky Korean fighter, Ju Sang-yo, who was way too cocky. I believe it was taunted him during that fight, and then he got knocked out. I love to watch that fight. If you haven't watched that fight, I'd go watch it. Definitely deserved. But overall, Santos has some solid striking. He has some good power. BJJ and his wrestling are definitely where his strong suit is. He is pretty explosive. Does like to spin. He likes that spinning back kick. He likes that spinning back fist. He just likes to spin. He likes to get you thinking. I do have Duho Choi by KO here. I just think he's going to be a little too fast. His striking, he's going to be able to connect 3-4 punches by the time Santos can even throw a jab. I just think Santos is a little outmatched here on the feet. On the ground, it definitely goes to Willie Cat, but Duho Choi should get the win here. All right, for the main event, Arnold Allen versus Melky Costa. Let's get into Arnold Allen first. So Arnold Allen is coming off a loss to John Silva, where he had a solid first round, but it just kind of went downhill from there. He looked good, but at the same time, his style definitely doesn't work against those type of guys who are technical strikers looking for that KO, which we have another guy like that, Costa. Allen, he has a head lowered style, so if you were to think of where his head is now right here, imagine his head is down right here. His head is closer to his chest than his shoulders, I want to say. It looks like he's looking right down when he's fighting. I do not like his style at all, because he was hit before the Silva fight 3 fights in a row. He was hit with a flying knee. He got hit with a flying knee in all 3 fights. I believe he did beat Giga, but he landed a flying knee on him and pretty much exposed his chin, like everybody else did. Allen, if he's going to fight the exact same way, he fights the same way every fight. He's going to try to pressure Costa. Costa's just going to be very technical. He's going to be very patient, and he's going to pick his shots. Allen, he's going to have his head down. He's probably going to have Costa against the fence. Costa's going to throw up a flying knee and knock his ass out. Allen, it's just I just can't get over the head lowered style. It's going to be way easier for Costa to throw head kicks. He's going to be way easier to throw that spinning back kick to the stomach, maybe even to the face like he did against Ige. For Allen to win this fight, he needs a finish. It's a 5-round fight. Costa's going to take over this fight. Allen got to make it a dog fight pretty much. He's got to make it bloody. He's got to make it real dirty. Costa, if he's going to win, he's got to be patient. He's got to take his time. And overall, just keep throwing those kicks. Allen can't really do much with those kicks. He can defend them. He might even catch 1 or 2. But I think Costa's good enough to where he can push him off his foot. I have Costa by KO. How do I think he's going to knock him out? I think it's going to be a flying knee. Flying knee KO for Costa. It's going to be back-to-back highlight reel finishes to end off this winning streak. I don't think he wins the fight after this. I don't know who he's fighting yet, but I definitely don't think he will be able to compete with any of the guys after this, that's for sure. Here was my parlay last week. I didn't give it out. I did make it with a couple buddies. I asked everybody for a prop. My goat Tony gave me a good prop. Jim Miller by sub or decision. Cashed that. My goat Jacob gave me a pick for fight not to go to distance for the Alvarez fight. Bang. I went with fight not to go to distance for the Grant Dawson fight. Got really lucky on that. And unfortunately, my goat Joshua Van, a.k.a. Kyle, who I did back last weekend, and he did win, chose Waldo by KO. He did have Brady by decision, and I did wish that prop was available, because if I took that, that would have been still probably $300, $400. But appreciate if any of them watching, appreciate the picks there. Got to run it back at some point. But I will give out 2 little plays. My risky parlay is Sopa and Wellmaker. To be honest, I wouldn't recommend playing that unless you like both of these guys. I really like both of these guys, and I got to bet on them. That's how it is. I'm backing both the guys. Favorite prospects. I usually back a lot of my favorite, either prospects, contenders, champs, whatever. Got to stick with your guy, right? Actual good parlay will be Urslan and Ardeline. Ardeline is a lock in my opinion. Urslang, if you want to go with someone else, feel free. If you want to put Sopa in there, if you want to put Costa, Arnold Allen, whoever. But I would say Ardeline is definitely a really good parlay piece here. Next video will be my favorite / prospect I think that will make it far in each UFC division. Be sure to check that out next week on Wednesday. It will be out around 1 or 2 Eastern time. Other than that, you guys have a good day.